Hey YouTube, Chris here from Gearhead Custom Garage. I just did some clutch maintenance on my 2013 ZX14R, and I drag raced it a fair amount. And in fact, this bike has pretty much just seen the track this season anyways. It hasn't seen the street at all. But anyways, I was feeling like something, well, I do a fair amount of clutch maintenance on this anyways. It's just a good idea, but I felt something wasn't quite right the last time at the track. So what I wanted to show here, and just as a sort of a shout out and to give credit, I watched Brock Davidson's tutorial or whatever. He had a really good clutch instructional video. It's about 40 minutes long and lots of basics in there, but there's just a few good points that he makes that I think are worth watching the whole thing if you're serious about making a clutch work properly. But anyways, just a sort of a little addition. As I was going through my clutch discs, first of all, I'll just put those aside. You can see the steels. One of the things besides being warped, which you can look for in different ways, I like to compare the old ones to the new one, and you can see quite quickly if they're warped. These are actually not warped, but the thing that I look for is when they start to get blue on the outside edges like this. I start to get nervous about them, and you can see here in some places they've even started to smudge into the metal, and so these ones are definitely out of the pack, future pack. These ones are done. Get little spots on them like that. There you can see. So anyways, one of the things I just like to look for is that blue edge, and when I start to see that, I'm leery of reusing them. On the fibers, something that is kind of good to look for is the color. Now I realize that maybe different clutch packs, different qualities or whatever, might have a little bit of a different fiber, but generally speaking, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but especially between this one here, which is quite worn, and that one at the bottom, which is fairly new. In fact, I think that one is brand new. But you can see the lighter color versus the darker. Darker being, it's got hot, it's been worked real hard. It's probably worn down. I've measured it with the caliper here, and it definitely is beyond or below the specs. So I just wanted to show the color difference if you're looking through your clutch pack. One of the points Brock makes is that you don't necessarily have to change the whole clutch. Like you can find parts of the clutch that might be better or worse than the rest, and so you can cycle some of these discs and fibers out and just make up a clutch pack without having to spend the money on a whole thing and change the whole thing at one time. The other point he made was if you're racing a lot and that's all the bike might see, a clutch takes it's a short period, but it does take a few runs sometimes to get it to set in properly. And so if you cycle out, let's say, half your clutch plates, and with new ones, you're virtually wear in time is virtually none. By the time you've done a burnout and ridden through the pits or stuff like that, used it a few times, you're good to go. So I've been cycling these out, some of these out for a while, and have a bunch of extras. But I just wanted to show the difference in the colors there. That's one of the ways you can tell if especially the fiber is starting to wear out and has been burnt. And so you can see, I think anyways, through the video, I can see it through the screen here as I'm just filming this, the color difference between these two is quite drastic, and it's just one of the ways you can tell if it's worn or not. But anyways, just thought I would put that as an addition, And if you really want to see an in-depth tutorial, go to Brock's Performance YouTube channel and watch that video, because he does a magnificent job at showing how to do sort of a performance maintenance on ZX14R. Anyways, that's all for now.